long.
Pop the popcorn, grab the Coke, and find that old VHS. We're diving deep in cheesy flicks. Yeah, we're on a vintage quest. Low reviews but high on laughs. Let's give these films a cheer. The cult classics, flops, and nuts. There are topics this year. We're the Ejectables, rolling back the years, celebrating movies that no one else cheers. From backhand twos to epic fails, we say it's all good. We're the Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.
Welcome to the Ejectables. This is the show where movie enthusiasts Bill and Ian join forces with a weekly rotating guest to celebrate movies that we feel have been unjustly panned by the critics or sadly ignored and forgotten by audiences. This week's guest, we have Bethany Dwyer. Am I saying it's Dwyer, not Dryer? Dwyer.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. Now, Bethany, from my understanding, you are originally from Chicago, and then you moved to LA to pursue your stand-up comedy, writing, and music career. And then you've appeared in many, many TV shows, including The Office and Masters of Sex. And then more recently, you have a book called Break Free from Fear. There it is.
Yes.
8 Steps to Unlock Your Innate Superpowers. Welcome to the show. I want to know about this book. What is this?
Yeah, it's a book that took 10 years to, it didn't take me 10 years to write it when I decided to write it, but it is the evolution of the last 10 years of my life. Since 2015, I started to coach in rehab centers and treatment centers and mental health facilities, and very long story on how I started doing that. But I started coaching through comedy because I am a stand-up comic. Yeah. And I was riddled with fear my whole life. I was afraid of everything, what people thought. I was afraid of success, failure, not being liked. I was afraid of me, basically.
Yeah.
And I walked around thinking I was broken and all of these things. And in my learning and involvement in helping others and being of service, I started to coach in these centers and facilities, and a program started to develop. And as I was developing this program, I was curing myself also of these fears. And I wanted to go in and be like, here's what you do. And so over the 10 years, what I mean by this is how this book was written is that it evolved several ways. And the best thing it did was able to be broken down into 8 steps. And I think that's really powerful for self-help books, because most of the time it's just a lot of like, you're brave and you can do this. And I can't fucking say it. Like, if someone comes at me and is like, I'll help you and you're so good, like, shush, I don't feel that way. And you telling me it isn't going to change the way I feel. I have to work on something. So I got these 8 steps. And like I said, I've been coaching for 10 years, thousands of clients. And over these years, they're all like, write a book. You got to write a book. And I was like, I never thought not that I never thought I could. I never thought it would work because I'm so used to working people one-on-one, or even like in a group of 10 or 15, but it's also personal. So the challenge for me was just writing a book that could be general in a way that anyone can read this. Like, you don't have to be, like I was living in my car in debt, on all these prescriptions, like crazy stuff. You can, some people's light is dim because of not some people, most of us keep our light dim because of the thoughts that we have in our head. And if we can shift our mind, and this is like a detox, I call it, for the mental health, for your thinking. It's a detox.
Do you bring your humor into the book as well? Obviously, you're dealing with serious stuff, but I imagine.
Yeah, I absolutely do. In fact, I was working with a publisher when I first started because they loved the program and they work with self-help stuff. And one of the comments they made is no comedy, because you're an expert. There's no way you would have comedy in that. People aren't going to take you seriously. And I was like, okay. So I had already written the book, and then I had to rewrite the book with no comedy. And then when it was done, I was like, this isn't me. This doesn't feel like me. And I felt like if someone came to see me speak, they'd be like, who is this bitch? I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Because of how I am. And a lot of my stuff is through comedy and a lot of visual examples. So I get you thinking. For me, I learn better that way. I learn better when I can see an example by somebody telling a story that's like painting a picture.
So where can we find this? On Amazon or?
Yeah, right now it's just on Amazon, and you can either look from Break Free from Fear or with my name. Either way, it'll come up. But yeah, it's right now it's an ebook, and I'm running a special right now because it just got released as an ebook, and so it's free if you have Kindle.
Oh wow.
Okay,
and I
cool.
think it runs for like 2 weeks, and then it goes up $1 like every week or something like that. I don't know. It's my first time writing a book, but
that's so awesome.
Yeah, if you like electronic books, right now it's free. Go get it. So
great.
Yeah.
Well, great. So we'll remind people, of course, of the book at the end. But thank you very much, and I can't wait to check it out. Shall we jump into some uplifting movies?
Yeah.
So, Bethany, what movie do you think people should not eject? What was your pick this week?
My pick is DREDD from 2012. Yes.
Whoa.
Okay. This movie, I know when I first saw it in the theater, I watched it and then I walked out of the theater, bought another ticket, and went and watched it again.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Did you see it in 3D?
You know what? I didn't see it in 3D. I don't know why. I saw it right where I live, and it wasn't like it wasn't offered in 3D there for some reason. But I saw it twice and was like, this movie is everything. And then it flopped, and people were like, you liked it? And I was like, I loved it. Like, and then it didn't even make its money back. I can't.
No.
I can't believe it.
It kind of bombed. Did you love the original one with Stallone? Are you an action movie fan?
I love action movies. I love horror, action, thriller.
I love horror.
Yes. Well, that's what I write and direct. So, yeah.
Hire me. Sorry.
Yes. We just need investors. I'm done with Hollywood. Hollywood's dead.
Bill's gonna give the money.
Yes.
Oh,
I got 25 cents in my piggy bank right now.
That'll do.
That go nowhere.
Low horror. Yeah. Go on. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, but I think DREDD is so much more if you watch it from a perspective of like, I'm just going to see what this movie offers. Instead of, I think, whoever was spreading the negativity about it, and then people, do you ever notice that? Like, if somebody says something, you'll go in and you'll have expectations, or you'll be looking for something. And I think that's what happened in this movie, because when I break it down, I'm like, oof, there's so much good stuff in here. I mean, visuals alone, I can't. To me, it's epically beautiful. And for an action movie, forget about it.
Ian, do you have a clip?
Yes, I do. Hold on one second, Bill.
Let's
I'm
see
gonna go
what
down
Bethany's
to that.
talking about.
This is what she's saying.
Yeah, I heard you, hot shot.
What?
I said, hot shot.
See, the shot was in fact hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you this so that maybe people will understand why I love this movie? So, and I didn't know what clip you were going to pick, but like for that clip specifically, if you notice, the whole background is gold, right? And she is dressed in blue, the woman who's a victim. And the hot shot, after it goes in his head, he turns red, right? So everything in life is blue and red. It's magnetic and electricity, and people are electric. That's what happens when sperm meets egg. It goes bing, we make electricity. That's our soul meeting body.
Gross.
Yeah. So, but the
Ian's
guy,
still a virgin.
I am.
yeah, well, but he's not he had light in him, and that's why he was born out of the vagina. So he at least got one vagina. Hopefully when you came out, Ian, you were just going, oh, this is the last one I'll see.
Oh, Mom, she just tried to call me the second. Sorry, go on.
So anyways, it's like there's so much symbolic suggestion in this that I think it's lost because we're just thinking like Dredd. And I also think because
Yeah.
people are comparing it to the Stallone one, which I think is nothing. I find nothing similar to it at all. But even down to like, you know, his red M right here. And if you notice in the background of that shot, everything is a W because it's so hard to explain if you're not into this world, but like what as above, so below. So they're showing you the juxtapose at all times. Like he is justice, it's the W, and right behind him it says W here, and right behind her it says wigs, the W's right there, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's look, I get chills. Yeah, when you really look at it, like the place is called Peach Trees because this is also biblical. So peach tree in Chinese means apple. So it's basically like the first of this city is kind of looking like Eden, and it just went south, right? Because evil started. And when they walk in and the doors shut, it all gets red, which again, red is the symbolism of, I'm sure you know, like evil, magnetic, magnetic. And like I said, people, living souls are blue. Opposite of that. It's just so beautiful. And like Cassandra, the girl who has the intuition, she's blonde, she's gold, right? Because she has this other conscious. That's what I was saying, where everything's, when it's gold, it's showing you how we're all one and united and together, and the goodness. In fact, one of the first lines, I should have watched it again. I've seen it so many times. I felt like I didn't have to watch it, you know. I literally just watched this probably like 2 months ago. Oh, see how it's gold right there?
Yeah, it's so gold.
Yeah. So it's the main colors in this is gold. And by the way, the drug slow-mo is gold, and it's amber. Amber means is the sun. That's what the sun is made of, is amber in like Egyptian. And when they take it, everything turns gold because it's you're of a higher conscience. So actually, if you look at this for just the symbols, Dredd is, even though we're rooting for Dredd, he's actually part of the red system. He's part of what's against
the evil
getting enlightened. Yeah, because he's the judgment, right? He's like, I got you. If you'll notice, Madrigal, Madeline Madrigal, she's like the evil of the drug lord. Yeah, she's always in a red shirt. If you see, she's got the red mark, right?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's so cool. I mean, I can't. And then you see the eagle on the outside. The eagle means the Roman Empire and how it was supposed to have gone down, but it didn't. And I
wish you explained this before I saw it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's why I said, guys, I watch movies in a different way. And especially mainstream movies or ones with huge budgets, there's like a whole other storyline that's always going on that I think people miss out on. Like the first scene, the guys doing the drugs that we want to be thought of as bad guys, right?
Yeah.
They're doing all these drugs. If you notice when in the van, it's golden. And like I said, and time and space is gone when you take slow-mo. So when you're enlightened, when you're meditating, all that, and you're of another conscious, what disappears? Time and space. So they're really showing this upper conscious. And then the van they're in is blue. And and what does Dredd come in? So I'm telling you, this movie is perfect. And then you know how they live in a building of a column?
Yeah.
Always looking up the column. That's the spinal column. So the column, so when we meditate, you get milk and honey. So when they take the drug, you'll notice it turns white. Or like the opening scene with Madeline, when she's in the bathtub and she takes a hit, right? And like all the water, she keeps sprinkling it and it looks like milk, and around it it's like honey. So that's also biblical. So like Jesus says that when you meditate, you get milk and honey. Milk is from, I'm going to mess this up, but one of them's from the pituitary gland and the other one's from the, starts with an H. What's the other gland that starts with an H? Anyways, you know, I'm just having a brain fart because I know all this, but
I went to film school. What do I know?
Well, but this isn't really about film school, although it's shot beautifully. But yeah, the column of this building is the column of the enlightenment of going up and also going down. So that's why that I'm sure this is boring you at this point.
No,
it's fascinating.
it's
'Cause I
making me
did not
feel
get
really
this while
dumb.
watching it.
Well, no, it's just that I'm the friend that your friend, like my friend will invite me to a party and just go, you know what, can you just like listen a little bit? Can you listen? Because like I
No.
take everything and I break it all down and I'm like,
That's
wait.
great.
I mean, I enjoy it, and I don't want to talk about the weather, but yeah, so all of that good stuff.
Ian, did you pick up on any of that when you watched it?
I feel really dumb, and I'm certainly not going to be able to talk about my movie in such good depth. No, I didn't pick that up. I went into this movie, though, having heard amazing things about it. I saw it at the theater, did not see it in 3D like yourself, but I saw like fans were loving it. It was getting great reviews. So I went. I did not like the original. This is way better than the original, but I didn't love this. I was a little disappointed, and I was seeing it strictly as on the surface an action movie. I think there's something about it, and maybe there's an explanation for it, but it cost like $50 million, but it has a cheapness to it. And I wish its aesthetic, and I think there's a lot of style, a lot of cool stuff in here. I wish its aesthetic had met the aesthetic of my film, which is obviously a bit dumber than this one. And then I think it could have been a perfect film, because I think there's a lot of great action set pieces. I like his performance. I like her performance. Is I forget what her name is, his partner.
Sandra.
And I'm interested. There was a little bit too much CGI blood for me. I wanted a little bit of practical, but I think that's the old man in me wants the practical effects. But I think it's a fun time. I could see why people love it. Maybe if I love the comic book or whatever it is, the graphic novel it comes from, I would have appreciated it more. But it's way better than the Stallone one. What'd you think, Bill?
So I'm in the minority here. I saw the Stallone one. It was, just bashed like Waterworld. And when I saw it in the 90s, I was like, this is pretty good. And I like the director, Danny Cannon. So I went into this movie with that baggage of saying, like, I hope it's, like, I know that Stallone one's flawed and he's become one of the worst actors ever. But when I saw the Stallone one in the 90s, I was like, oh, this is better than I thought. So I thought I was expecting like a really good version of that movie. This is Alex Garland. It's very intellectual. It's not the joy fest that the Stallone was. So I carried that baggage with me. I understand why people like it. I didn't know that. I guess Alex Garland took over directing duties.
Yeah,
right?
That's what my understanding too.
Yeah, I mean he's a genius. So I'd like to see him with like a lot more money to see what he can do. I just don't know like if he was under the time crunch to make a movie, for $50 million. And I love the actor from Star Trek. That guy's awesome. He's so good. Does he do anything else?
He was in like Lord of the Rings, right? He's
Yeah.
like he's very frowny.
Yeah,
but I guess that's a
that
choice.
Guy should be a major actor.
Wait,
He's
are you
so
talking
good.
about DREDD?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very frowny. Like DREDD must show no bias, and to me, I loved his performance. All he gets is this. That's it. You got like that is hard, and you always know what he's thinking. He's angry. She nailed it in the beginning, Cassandra, when he's behind the glass, and she's like, "Who else is with me?" And she says, "Oh, another judge," but he's very angry. And there's this other, and then she stops him. Nobody wants to know the pain that he's in and why he does what he does. And I think the frown or his like grimace, I think it conveys all of that. I loved it so much. In fact, there was a moment when he gets betrayed by his other judges when he's there, and he makes just the subtlest, like he's just so sad when he does it, and that's, you just see it like pop pop, and you're like, whoa. I don't know. I thought it reminded me of when Jim Carrey was in 23 and you just kept seeing him through like the closet and all you're getting is his eyes and he tells you everything with his eyes. That's what I was getting from his little mouth. I thought he was great. And just a side note, I know I don't want to just talk about it, but the reason I believe they did that with the blood and not have real blood is because of what I'm talking about, is the symbology. And if the symbols didn't match, in other words, if this blood was that color and this other blood over here was a different color, it wouldn't have the message in it. The message is really clear. Like, it is just boom, solid. This is that color red, and this is the color blue. And if you notice, the blues are all the same too. So I
have to watch it again.
I did not think it came off cheap. I thought it came out very original and unlike anything I'd ever seen. And the effects and the colors and the way they portrayed the drug when you're on it, I thought was epic. And like
that was cool.
Yeah. And when you know now that this gold means the sun, it means enlightenment, it means all of these beautiful things, it means time and space is gone. Then you'll start to get, it doesn't look cheap to me. It looks like a really solid, committed choice.
Yeah.
When you bought the ticket the second time, did they think you were nuts? Did they recognize you?
They had to have, because I was like, I just thought I want to see it again. So I don't know if, I mean, they may have, I don't remember. The
reviews were good though. So you definitely were on the right side of what people thought of this film. It's just, people didn't come out to see it, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's why I think there was like a thing going on. I don't know, like what Bill was saying, maybe comparing it to the Stallone one or something. I don't know. Or maybe
this needed Rob Schneider. That's what this needed.
Oh, jeez. No, but it's probably his lack of star power that didn't help.
Wait, do you mean Zack Snyder? Or do you mean
no? Rob Schneider was in Judge Dredd. Rob Schneider's in the
original.
One.
Oh, in the original. Okay, yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah, he's a little miscast in that.
Oh, I loved it when her face like split open right in camera. I'm like, oh my god, that was really. There were some cool stylistic choices. I appreciated that for sure.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, Alex Garland's the man. Very talented guy.
Well, thank you for breaking that down for us, because that is interesting to see it in a much deeper way. So maybe I will see it again. I don't think it's bad, so I'm not panning your pick.
I will find out where you live. That's what will happen if you think
Connecticut.
It's bad.
He lives in Connecticut.
Right. Los Angeles. It's right next to
Massachusetts.
Silver Lake. Yes.
Ooh.
Shall we move on to my amazing pick? So sometimes I will choose a movie that I remembered liking, and then I will rewatch it for the show, having thought I liked it. But I must say, the movie that I chose is 2012's Total Recall, the remake of the Schwarzenegger film. And before I saw this, I didn't see it at the theater. I saw it maybe a year or two after it came out. This movie got panned. It bombed. It got bad reviews.
Wonder why.
So when I saw it, I'm like, it's not as bad as I expected. And I don't think it's bad still. It's just, it looks good. The people are pretty. There's some well-staged action sequences.
Ian, do you have a clip?
It gets a bit redundant, is my complaint about it. My son, I showed it to him. He's like, yeah, it was fine. It was very, 2000s and generic.
It was an hour too long.
I watched the director's cut, which was even longer. Ugh. Here's a clip.
I'm not your wife.
That's bullshit. We've been married 7 years.
I'm UFB police intel, assigned to play your wife. 6 weeks ago, I didn't even know you.
What are you talking about?
Your memory was replaced.
You're saying our marriage?
What can I say? I give good wife. Come on.
Amazing dialogue. Well, that scene happens like 4 or 5 times in the movie. That's why I'm saying it's redundant. Oh, they get caught again. They try to tell him everything's in his head. So that gets redundant. I think the action looks good. It's got they use their budget pretty well. It just gets redundant. My complaint. But what do you think, Bethany?
Oh, I couldn't wait for you to come to me. Oh my God. This movie was excruciating to watch. And
in a good way?
No. Like, I'm glad my eyes are still intact. First of all, an hour too long, like I said. Second of all, yes, absolutely redundant. Third, both of the lead women to me, and I'm not going to have smack talk or anything. I'm just talking strictly in this movie. I don't care. I don't know who they are. I mean, actually I do, but we could talk about that too. But so they're exactly the same. I was like, who am I watching right now? This is
That's a very good point.
They read
feel that
identical. And then what I think is hilarious, and again, I could be wrong because I was going in and out, but I feel like what happened to the world and why this is all occurring, I think it had been going on for years, right? And then we're just seeing them in this moment of the colony and the other place. I can't remember what it's called. Like, in other words, this has been going on for like 50 years, right?
Yeah.
It didn't just agree. So why does she all of a sudden have an English accent if there's only 2 places you can live? And do you know what I'm saying? Like, just that alone, they were like, she can't do the American accent, because so many times you hear it coming through and you're like, oh my God, they just gave it to her. The other thing is, and obviously this clip was from the director's cut because he just wanted to see her breathe some more.
They're married. They're married. They were. Yeah.
She gives good wife.
Yeah.
She gives good wife, right? She looked right at the camera at that, so I get it. But like, to me, it was so unbelievable. You guys can send me hate mail. I don't care. I'm a woman. I get to say it. But when I see a man getting beat up by a woman, I'm done watching. I'm done watching. If no one in 2025 can just come to terms that, if I don't care how strong of a woman you are, if a fucking man who has got so much training behind him gets beat up by literally an 80-pound, well, by the way, 2 80-pound women, I'm out. This is stupid. Don't keep making me watch this. I don't believe she's the one who beats him up. I don't believe these AI robots. Even the AI robots are like, shut up, bitch. Like, I can't anymore. Like,
she beat up werewolves in her other movies, so she could beat up a man.
I can't. But if we break down the movie the way it was written,
it's brilliant.
I will say this. You see, brilliant.
Yeah. Did you not notice the colors?
Well, that's what
the grays. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not. Did you see him in the scene you chose? How the blue beam?
Yes, right? The lens flare.
Right. So he's in his soul, but that's a choice because normally it's white and they made it blue. And if you notice through the movie, they will do it again. So they're using the same symbols that, by the way, DREDD did, just not as good. I love the flat earth, like the geocentric nod in the beginning when they show the way that they're navigating to both. I love that.
Yeah.
It's very much a geocentric nod. And then, which I thought was great. And then there was something else the stigmata of it, right? So he's Carl,
AKA Jesus.
Well,
no,
kind of. Carl means freedom, free man.
Okay.
So he is the first free man because he's thinking, right? So that's, again, it's when you pick this movie, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I thought you guys knew because you picked something.
I did not pick this movie.
I picked it because of your pick, but not because I really remembered either of them very well. I was like, oh, they seem within the same world in a sense.
Yeah. No, it's very like Matrix feel as far as the messaging, right? Like I said, every number that Carl's in front of, Carl is played by
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, thank you. And I love him. I think he's great. He was played by him. Every time he's got a number around him, you'll have to watch this movie again and be tortured.
No.
There's always a 6. Numbers by him will always add up to 6. So it'll say 24, 42, 1 and 5. It's always going to add up to 6. And when he is playing the other character, when he's playing Carl, it adds up to 1. And when he's playing the other name, which is like Doug or something, it adds up to 6. And again, 1 being he's all of the conscious. He's of 1 when he can think himself and he's aware. And then 6 is his like material world where he's in the blue. So it's got a lot of the same kind of stuff. I also found it interesting that in the movie they said that they drilled through the earth to get from one end to the other, which is funny because we can't even dig past 8 miles in earth, like for real. So the fact that they said they're going through the whole thing, I just thought it was funny. Anyways, I think this was a sad movie to watch, and
because it's the future so bleak. But you loved it, though, is my understanding.
I absolutely did not love it. Like I said, there were little things especially because I didn't like it. I was just looking for things that I thought were cool. Like, the guy's name was Matthias, which means Yahweh, which is another name for Jesus, by the way. The guy that they killed at the guy when Bryan Cranston comes in and he just shoots him and they're always trying to protect him. That means gift. his name Matthias means gift of Jesus. That's what Matthias means. So
did you know that, Ian? With your terrible pick?
I don't, what is the Bible? I'm not a religion. Yeah, I did not know that, but I'm glad to know it, but I don't want to watch it again. So I recommend people watch it if you're drunk and have nothing else to watch.
No, don't even do that, because you'll do something insane when you're drunk. Like, don't torture yourself. This should be put on a shelf somewhere of never again to be seen.
I think there's fun to be had. Like there's fun. Like it's dumb fun.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
I respect that.
I wouldn't put this on my worst enemy. And I'll give you a little fun tidbit. Jessica Biel, she went, like, I'd say 15 years ago, she tried to pick up my man right in front of me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you hate it.
And no, it isn't. Believe me, I don't. She could have that man, and she could also have it. I don't care. I really didn't look at it that way. But I just thought it was funny because I'm like, and I have a connection to Kate as well. But I was like, this is a funny movie to watch that I am whatever. But I think don't watch it, guys.
Okay, Bill, what'd you think?
Well, Len Weissman's a really great director. His Die Hard edition was really great.
Which one was
Which one did he do?
The one with Timothy Olyphant, where he's a cyber terrorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was after Die Hard with The Vengeance.
Okay.
And then actually, I've worked with Kate Beckinsale. She's really nice. But this movie, I mean, it just takes massive balls to remake Total Recall. And it's like if a really boring person was telling you a great story. That's what this movie is.
Yeah, that's
like,
a good way to put it.
Like Sharon Stone, like when Sharon Stone kicks Arnold, that was a crazy moment in the movie. It was awesome. Like that was like crazy. But here they're just, I get it. They're using an IP and it's Philip K. Dick, who I don't super love and stuff like that. But I mean, it takes balls to remake, a Paul Verhoeven movie. So
is it balls or stupidity? Because this is like when people do covers of Beatles. You're just like, shush, stop.
I think they just took the name and try to co-opt something, and they weren't really attentive to the book or the narrative. It looks beautiful, but I mean, now everyone's remaking stuff, but at the time it was hearsay. It was like,
I was a new dad the first time I saw it, so maybe that's my excuse. Could it be new dad?
Yeah, you weren't watching. You were tending to baby. Is that what you're saying? Because then
I'm just like, it's probably like the first moment to myself. I'm like, I don't have to think. And this movie doesn't make you think.
It makes you fall asleep too. You probably
it's better than Ambien.
It was. No, it was very relaxing to watch this. And I was happy it wasn't goofy like the original, which I'm sure I'd appreciate the original more now. But that was just kind of goofy. And this was like a serious.
I have a whole new. This movie will think that Total Recall is a masterpiece. The one with Schwarzenegger. That's why it's on this planet.
Yeah,
I'll have to rewatch that.
I thought this version was quite comical. That's what I'm saying. Every fight scene with women, I just started like, Colin, what just happened to you? Like, you just beat up an AI guy, and then this bitch gets on top of you, and you're like, you're dead fish. Like, how come you can't fight an 80-pound woman?
I think maybe it's because any woman could beat me up. So maybe I'm seeing it. I don't think of it in those terms of, he's trained and stronger than I am, but anyone could beat me up.
And my girlfriend goes, when does this end?
Yes.
She goes,
did you watch?
Yeah, watch it with her. And every time we see a bad movie, we go, let me guess, it's an Ian Peck.
That's so hurtful. Did either of you watch the director's cut, or did you watch the shorter?
Absolutely not.
It was on Netflix. Whatever was on Netflix, that's it.
Yeah.
Director's cut's better. There's more depth.
No.
That's
longer?
That's why I liked it.
How much longer is the director's cut? Because this was an hour too long.
20 minutes longer.
The director's cut should have been an hour longer, and the original should have been an hour and a half.
Where do you find the director's cut?
iTunes.
You rented it?
I purchased it many years ago, and I had not rewatched.
Were you drunk? You must have been drunk. Like when
I wasn't drunk. I had one beer.
When I bought drunk. Noises Off, I was drunk.
It was a really big beer.
Yeah.
It was a really big beer.
Was it laced with anything?
Just crack.
Okay.
Which it dissolved. I couldn't. Yeah. Is that bad?
Well, then maybe we just have to watch it on crack.
Yeah, and with the big beer.
Right.
Okay. So maybe I had slight regrets in recommending this after having watched it with my son. I'm just going to say no more about it. Bill, what'd you pick?
I picked the 1992 classic Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez. Yeah. Starring Emilio Estevez, Stephen Dorff, cubagoodingjr. There's a reason why Jeremy Piven's not on the poster. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's a big part of the movie.
Leave that to my clip.
Yeah. Oh, do you have a clip?
Can't spoil stuff because I feel like I've been spoiling things left and right.
You can spoil it.
No spoil.
Yeah, you schooled me.
Ray.
Just a little bit, and my pulse will be back to normal. God.
Ray.
Music to my ears. It's beautiful. I'm getting off this roof in one piece.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
It involves a bunch of guys going to Chicago boxing match. They make the wrong turn, and they run into a lot of bad people on the dreaded street. You're from Chicago. Did you relate to this movie?
I loved. Oh, are you done describing? I don't want to. Okay, I love this movie. I'd never seen it.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I was in from the beginning. As soon as I saw the Tiny Club Actors Club, all under 5'6", I was like, we're in for a 90s flick right now. Let's go. And yes, it was in my hometown. I thought it was hilarious that they made Cabrini Green look desolate because there's so much hubbub there. And every turn they made, there was nobody on the streets, which I was like, and it's so dirty, filthy, like with, I don't know. It was just funny because I was like, yes, it's dirty, but not with like all of this junk. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I loved it. And I loved it in the way where it makes you yell at the screen. Like the clip you just showed made me so angry because I was like, he's literally negotiating for 10 fucking minutes and all three of you guys are standing there watching. Like we all knew he was going to die. And fucking run. You have 10 minutes of lead time, right? You don't need to see if your friend lives, you're going to see him tomorrow. But if he dies, now they're just like steps away from you. Run. So, but I love that. I love that they made just horrible choices the whole time, right? Like, I mean, and they kept talking about Emilio Estevez's like other personality. Like, when's this bad boy gonna come out? And I just thought it was hilarious because he's the smallest guy of all of them too.
Yeah.
And like he's just so like me. And then when it came out, the bad boy came out. I was like, what? Wait, the music changed.
That's it.
Like you were supposed to know it changed, but like, how is he tougher? Nothing else changed. Like he, couldn't shoot the gun. I mean, it was just, I don't know. But it was very 90s, which I also loved. I mean, it's overacting cheesy cake stuff that I love, especially Emilio. Jeremy Piven, it's funny, I coached him in stand-up for a while because he wanted to change his reputation. And whenever I watch him now in anything, I just see that guy. Like he's just that guy that you have to hate. You have to hate him, and I don't know what it is. And it's interesting, and I think they all did a really great job.
It's also one of the best soundtracks ever. It has Rage Against the Machine. It's like notoriously like one of the best soundtracks ever. You love Rage Against the Machine, Ian, don't you?
I love them.
Yeah, Tom Morello.
Is that the Kurt Cobain band? I don't know.
No, I think it's funny that his band's called Rage Against the Machine, and now he is a part of the Machine, which is hilarious. Because he speaks with the Machine all the time. Zach. But what's funny is this soundtrack. I love that you mentioned that because I think it is brilliant, and it's the first time they put rock bands with rappers. Like,
yeah, it's awesome.
Oh,
yeah, that they paired that together. That I thought was really cool, and I love the director because he did Nightmare on Elm Street. And he did
Predator too.
And he did Fugitive, which is like also one of my favorite movies.
Which Elm Street movie did he do?
The first one, I think.
No. This one's Stephen Hopkins. So he did Predator 2 and then Blown Away, which even by
the Jeff Bridges movie.
Yeah, even by his admission, he hated and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, Emilio got a really big payday. Got $7 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was
For
he
this
was not-
movie?
yeah, he was not a first choice.
Only because he was available, essentially.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll take you.
Who
Everyone
do you want?
everyone passed. Like everyone passed.
Didn't they want like Kevin Bacon and like some other people?
Yeah,
forget
and they wrote it in the
Never.
mid 80s, and it just took forever to get made. And it went through so many. The guy that wrote The Glory did a pass of it, and his script changed so much he doesn't even get story credit.
Wow.
I didn't hate it. I did. I thought on the, I would say on the slight meter, it is a solid lime. It goes, I'd say right in the middle of, and I'm not going to compare it to mine. I realized my pick's a little shaky this week, only this week, but it was just so forgettable. It is so 90s. I didn't buy a moment.
Oh yeah,
of
that
it.
big action sequence in the grocery store is totally unforgettable, and then the music, and then scene in the apartment.
They are likable. I think the actors are likable. I enjoyed them. I didn't buy Leary in this role at all. Just the situation was goofy. It was just
I think they gave him
yeah.
a different hairstyle. It's
Maybe?
just yeah,
And a
because
bandana.
he just looks like Dennis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
was doing stand up back then, I'm sure, whenever this came out. So like, yeah, they needed to make him look different. And he was actually even wearing what he wears, like the leather jacket and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think he needed a different look. Because his bravado worked. Like he has some, oomph to him, and he's taller than all of them.
He is good. Yeah. Yeah, he's taller.
Yeah, when I loved when Emilio, this is what I mean, when the music's changed and they're in the supermarket, Bill, what you're talking about, and then Emilio stands up and Dennis Leary in the camera's like this tall, and then Emilio stands up and it's like this difference, and
Like, whoa.
the music's going, he's like, oh, he's gonna be the bad boy, and then he just runs. He ran. That's what he did, which is just hilarious. The other part that I thought was interesting and stuck out to me is when they were in the sewer, and all of a sudden it got stylistic. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, with like Dennis Leary where he's standing there, and then like there's a close up of the mouth, and then the camera pans, and then they do it again. They do it like 4 times.
No.
No, but it was a very weird choice, and they hadn't been doing it at all during the movie. Like nowhere else. It was just, it's like, and I thought, oh, that doesn't feel right. It kind of took me out of it, even though I liked the style. But if they had run that through the whole thing, yeah. But
I guess
oh god,
this movie got released in theaters, and I believe like a opening weekend or something. Someone got shot in the theater. So
yeah, the Bronx.
Pulled.
Yeah,
it got pulled from cinemas, and hence that's one of the big reasons it bombed. That's because of that. And also got pretty mixed reviews. But it's not horrible. I don't think
ahead
it's
of its
horrible.
time.
yeah, I liked it. I think they could have come up with something better, like to explain how he got to walk away with what looked like $100K bus that looked like a house on wheels. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, I got to, yeah, right. It depreciates the moment you walk, you rolled it off the driveway. No way are you getting that to just go to a boxing match. And then when the guy hits the car and just all that stuff, you're just like, this is 90s unbelievable. Where
so 90s.
It's like, I feel like they write movies in the 90s like Bowie writes music, where like he just has words written on pieces of paper and he either throws a dart at it or like picks it out of a hat, and that's how he writes his music. That's what they do with 90s movies. They're just like, oh, it's going to be in a donut shop with for little people who eat ice cream. Like, it's, I mean,
in that case, it works for me. If that's how they're made, then I see it.
And the person credited wrote Unlawful Entry, another 90s classic with Ray Liotta and Madeline.
Oh, yeah.
Russell.
Oh, yeah. I love that movie.
A Cop's After My Wife.
This is the kind of movie, if it came on TV, I might leave it on for a minute, but once that first commercial break comes on, I'm turning the channel and not coming back.
Yeah, to Total Recall.
To DREDD. I'm going to look for all those things in DREDD now.
You know what, Ian's funny? Now I have to admit, because like Total Recall is probably one of the worst movies I've watched in I don't know how long. Like, I can't. So now any movie that is your pick, I'm gonna be like, I'm not touching it.
That's what Bill does. You got to give me a chance. I'm recognizing mine is not up to par this time.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that bad, but
I even said, really? I was like, really?
I remembered it wrong.
By the way, there were little gems in this as well. Like when they're under the bank in the tunnels, they're showing us that there's tunnels under national banks and under national buildings which I liked about that. Again, the eagle, there's always an eagle to represent things that are hidden. So when you see eagles in movies, and now they'll probably change it because I'm outing it. But what I've noticed is every time they show you an eagle, you know that you're going to get some symbolism and some like good juicy nuggets in there that are hidden. So, yeah.
More to the movie, Ian.
I know. Now I have to rewatch them all, even my pick.
No, don't do that.
Okay, I won't do it. This is where we find this week's picks. You can find Total Recall, which I highly recommend you do, on Netflix, or you can track down a Blu-ray. You can find DREDD on Max, or also in 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah, the 4K Blu-ray just came out this week, or like last month.
Woot woot! And then Judgment Day, you can find on Pluto, Paramount Plus, or you can track down a Blu-ray. So I'd say this is our mediocre movie week. I'm trying to defend myself, but what if you had to pick one movie, Bethany, that is not your own? Which one would it be? I know the answer.
No contest. It's Judgment Night. Zero contest. Zero. And
I understand.
By the way, the more you try to promote Total Recall to your audience, the more your audience will be back next week. So do not let them. And I don't mean because they don't want to come to see this show. I'm saying because they might not be with us.
Trust us. I know. They might die?
They might, do some stuff
and don't do the crack cocaine with the big
right.
Beer, like I recommend.
So we don't want to promote that movie to anyone.
Read a book instead. And one we'll talk about in a minute. Bill, what movie would you choose?
For Alex Garland, I'm choosing DREDD.
I'm choosing DREDD as well because it's got some character. It's got
Does that mean I do something?
Yes, you do.
Get ready.
You doing it, Bill?
Yeah. You got Ian's signed headshot from 1999.
Wow.
Woo!
Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at that lighting.
Yeah. That's New York lighting.
Look how quick you took that down.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to study it all.
That's okay.
I only got to hear. Okay.
Down.
All right.
Let's go back to the slidometer.
Explain it. What is the slight meter? What is this?
Ian said my pick, and we're very slight, and so I created the slidometer.
He chooses a lot of like mediocre, like 80s, 90s comedies that are so forgettable.
Well, Ian's clinically depressed, so he doesn't like to laugh.
I'm a happy guy.
So that's why. So he picks movies like Total Recall.
But I have the cure for my sadness.
There you go.
Yes.
Right? So we can find this book again on Amazon, correct? And you can get it free right now on Kindle?
On Kindle. If you have a Kindle, you can get it for free. Otherwise, it's in paperback.
Break Free from Fear by Bethany Dwyer. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Bethany.
Absolutely. You were awesome.
Thanks for having me.
That was fun.
And then when you guys watch DREDD again and you see all this stuff, text me. Let me know what you think.
Should we do like a Facebook rewatch tonight, Bill? And we can like be
let's do it in an hour.
Okay, cool. Done.
Yay!
Okay, and then my pick again.
Yes.
Bye.
I can't wait to watch Total
It's
Recall.
been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
Thank you, Bethany.
Thank you.
Here's our exit song. Stay around for 1 second. Goodbye, everyone.
Pop the popcorn, grab a Coke, and find that old VHS. We're diving deep in cheesy flicks. Yeah, we're on a vintage quest. Low reviews but high on laughs. Let's give these films a cheer. The cult classics, flops, and duds. There are topics this year. We're the Ejectables, rolling back the years, celebrating movies that no one else cheers. From backhand juice to epic fails, we say it's all good. We're the Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.